There are people who have signed these contracts that you think is dead, but is still alive and watching themselves from these private facility monitors doing concerts and even movies. Most of your favorite celebrities that you think you are seeing on television, that's not really them. These are clones. So when you see these celebrities malfunction at these shows and during interviews, they are not really intoxicated as they want you to believe. They are cloned and wired with genetic memory of the original person that they have locked away underground. And this is what happened to O.J. Simpson. Everybody that was watching the news when the so-called O.J. was in the white Bronco fleeing from the cops, all of this was staged because a lot of people in the circle and the same people that were sponsoring him did not like the fact that he was with that cracker. O.J. had already been abducted and placed in a facility. Why do you think that white man was with the clone inside of the white Bronco when he was chasing him? That was the handler of the clone. But these facilities are also in the jurisdiction of the United States military bases, which is used as torture. Not only to foreigners, but to their own citizens. They are used as torture to their own citizens who go into these bases and can't keep their mouth shut from the things that they witness or see under these military bases. Just like in the Vietnam War. This war had nothing to do with protecting America from any threat. This was also a staged event to create a mass ritual and bringing bodies and organs to those who helped fund these wars. And this is not to instill fear into anybody, but this is to give you a picture of things beyond the literal agendas of your government. And many of your children are going into the military, and they are being kidnapped by their own government. In some cases, what you see coming home is a body being controlled by what we call voice to skull or MK Ultra. It's called voice to skull. Many of you know about MK Ultra. And you must understand that this is a spiritual war going on. And many of you assume that World War III has not occurred, but it has occurred. It's just that it happened in other realms of what we call Antarctica and what you call the North Pole, which really has other civilizations of governments that is extraterrestrial, that controls governments that are really corporations. You have corporate governments, and then you have extraterrestrial governments. Then you have what you would call human wars, and then you have the underworld wars, which goes on inside of these civilizations that exist in the earth. Now, I don't want to go too far off subject, but there are even governmental facilities under the major hospitals in America, such as Johns Hopkins and George Washington Hospital, where they are extracting memory from your newborn's DNA to monitor the gift of that newborn, because your gift is recorded in your DNA. And what they do is they monitor your DNA, and once that child is 7 years of age, that number 7 now. Remember, the heavens and the earth was created at 7. They're talking about your DNA. Your DNA is the heaven and the earth of all dimensions. So at the 7 years of age, this is when the records of your DNA mature, where they can now start signing your child to Hollywood contracts and sucking the energy of this intelligence from your children physically, mentally, and spiritually. You see, they produce movies from records and thoughts that is stored in your DNA that is carried from these higher dimensions, because the people that run Hollywood are entities that cannot go beyond this dimension to extract the information that they use from your DNA to produce these movies, to keep the bodies in the physical dimension on an entertainment frequency. The illusion is entertainment. There are many things tied to our DNA that connects us to things that we cannot see. And this is what happened to Michael Jackson. They knew the intelligence of this man by way of his DNA prints, which was set up inside of him. So what did they do? They monitored him. And when the time came, they offered him all kinds of contracts, and even offered his father money that Michael did not even know of. And this money was part of a contract to get his father to sign as a part of insurance, just in case Michael did not bring in the money that they invested in him. So they took out a secret life insurance or artist insurance on him. And Michael found out about this and was about to expose the whole Hollywood government in his last days. But this did not only happen to Michael. It happens to others such as Whitney Houston and many more. You see, we say that they have sold their souls. But haven't you sold yours as well when you go downtown and sign to get married? Don't you know that when you sign that contract with the state, that your energy and DNA is all over that contract, and behind the scenes they have entities that can cast spells on your marriage or your relationship? Did you know that? You think just because all you see is the courts, and all of this. Whitney Houston, she was physically broke before she crossed over. So Clive Davis and the boys saw that she had more in her life insurance contractual agreement